My name is Emily Johnson. I'm 36 years old now, but my story began in a small town outside Columbus, Ohio. I grew up in a working-class family. My dad was a mechanic, and my mom worked long hours as a cashier at a grocery store. We didn't have much, but I had big dreams. Since childhood, I always said, one day, I'll build something that changes lives. But in the world I lived in, even dreaming big was laughed at. After graduating from high school, I couldn't afford college. I worked part-time jobs, waiting tables, folding clothes at a department store, babysitting, just to survive. But no matter how hard I worked, it felt like I was stuck. Slowly, my family's support turned into frustration. My cousins mocked me. Emily's going nowhere. She'll be stuck in this town forever. But the most painful moment came when my own parents told me, "We can't keep supporting you, Emily. You're 22 now. It's time you figure things out on your own." That night, I packed my old suitcase with only $200 in my pocket and took a bus to New York City, determined to prove everyone wrong. New York was brutal. I had no relatives, no friends, and no place to stay. I slept in shelters and sometimes on park benches. I worked at a diner as a waitress, earning tips that barely covered food. Some nights I went hungry. But when others slept, I stayed awake, using the free Wi-Fi at coffee shops, trying to teach myself online business and digital marketing. I failed over and over. Websites crashed. Products I tried to sell never sold. Every dollar I earned disappeared in losses. I cried many nights, but I never gave up. Each failure only made me stronger. The turning point. In 2013, I took a leap of faith. With my last $150, I started a tiny online store, selling handmade jewelry and accessories. My first day's profit was just $5, but it felt like the biggest victory of my life. I kept going. I reinvested every cent. Orders slowly started to grow. By 2016, I had enough to rent a small office space in Brooklyn. That's when Johnson & Conner Designs was born. I worked day and night, networking, learning, and expanding. I attended trade shows in Los Angeles, partnered with suppliers from overseas, and built a brand that people began to trust. By the age of 32, I wasn't just surviving, I was thriving. My company was pulling in millions in revenue. I bought my own apartment in Manhattan, traveled the world, and lived the life I once only dreamed of. Returning home. After nearly a decade, I finally returned to Ohio. I pulled up to my old street in a sleek black Mercedes. My neighbors stared in disbelief. When I walked into my parents' house, they froze. My dad's eyes filled with tears. My mom's face turned pale with both joy and regret. My cousins, the same ones who once mocked me, now rushed to hug me, saying, "We always knew you'd make it, Emily." But I remembered their laughter. I remembered the nights I felt completely alone. The lesson. I didn't seek revenge. I didn't rub my success in their faces. I simply told them, "When I had nothing, you gave up on me." But I never gave up on myself, and that made all the difference. I helped my parents in their old age because they were still my family. But I kept my distance from the relatives who only came close when they smelled success. And here's the truth I learned. Never judge someone by their struggles. Because the same person you doubt today might return tomorrow with everything you once wished for.